All right, what's going on YouTube? It's Donnie B all day. I have a knife review today, but the review in itself is kind of a versus at the same time, even though it's the same knife. All right, so what we have is the Peasant by Svord, and they are a New Zealand knife maker. They came to me. These are friction folders. And these guys have gotten a really good rap over the years. Excellent knife company. This is the paperwork that it comes with, which is weird because it doesn't have specs in there. You'd think it would have specs. The steel, it's a carbon tool steel. That's pretty much what they have it as. And there's the reason I'm doing a semi versus is because they come in two ways. Well, actually, a couple ways. This is the bigger version. They do have an extra big version, which is really cool. And then they have a mini version. I didn't get the mini version because I don't want a mini version. So here, before we get started, for everybody who's with me on Facebook, all right, my carry today happens to be this guy. Thanks to those. If you're with me on Facebook, that makes sense. If you're not, you're like, the hell is that about? So here it is. They come in two different handle styles, right? And you can see that they're both black. One's shiny, one's dull. So you're thinking, okay, well, what's going on with them? This one is polypropylene. This one is aluminum, right? I believe it's aluminum. I think that's what it is. Let's see. I believe it's aluminum. Yeah, it's aluminum. Duh. So here's the big thing. One is an extreme pocket carry. It is so thin. The other is indestructible polypropylene. Now, you have a couple things going on with these. On the polypropylene, you'll notice that little screw head. On the aluminum, you see a rivet. This one is adjustable. This one is not. So there's give and take. It's, do you want the one that's adjustable but really thick, which is as thick as any other pocket knife? I mean, this is a sod buster, right? It's right there. Or do you want the one that's really thin, can hide in any pocket, but it can't adjust? Now, here's the thing. Do you need the adjustment? Not really. It's not that important. So let's go over some of the specs. These guys closed are 6 and I'm stalling. 6 and whatever it says. 6 3/4 inches closed. Both the same exact lengths closed, and I do believe they're both the same exact length open. Both are beautiful. They're both greased, so if it looks weird in the camera, that's why. So here's your blade, and we are going to measure the blade. And we are looking at 3.5 inches on the blade, and I think it's like a 16th thick. They're thin blades, but they're working blades. Now, there was some discussion on one being thicker than the other depending on the handle usage, but they look about the same. They're I'll even let you guys see it. They're the same. They're the same. I don't know who's giving you all that garbage. So you're going to notice that when the friction fold is folded, you see that little lump right there, right? Sticks out there. That keeps the blade in place. It holds it against your hand when you're using the blade, so it's not going to fold farther, or close on you. There's another thing that is used for, as you notice, there is no lanyard hole on here. Rather than a lanyard hole, they have these holes, and what you can do is throw a key ring through that, and you can dangle it off your keys, making this one a better option for something like that because it's so thin. Now, speaking of options, I went out and did a different option for the carry. Boom, look at that. So now, it fits the aluminum really nice. The polypropylene fits in there, but not as nice. But if I stretch it, if I wedge it in there and really stretch it, it's going to fit perfect. Coming out is a pain in the ass. But this one right here goes in. It stays in. I'm not pinching it. It stays in. It does a great job. So the sheath on the aluminum doesn't need to be broken in. If you were going to use the sheath with the polypropylene, you'd have to break it in a little bit. But it doesn't really matter because breaking it in, it's just going to work really nice and it's going to go good. I did find out this, however. If you take it out and you can see the shape, right? It looks like it should go that way. If you go backwards with it, for some reason, the polypropylene one fits better backwards. Don't know why, but that's the way it is, where this one follows the shape beautifully, just beautifully. So I think I'm going to mostly use the sheath carry for this one, and this one will most likely just be pocketed. So these are made to be everyday carry type blades. They are sharp little bushcrafty style knives. They have gorgeous drop points. I mean, the blade shape itself is beautiful, just beautiful. And we're going to test that edge. Let's see if I can get these sleeves up. I don't know if I can. Because I'm a monster. They don't make sleeves to accommodate big guys. All right, let's see here. Let me deglass so I can see. So let's see. Let's see how we're doing on the hair. So it's sharp, but the aluminum, not shave sharp. Let's try this guy right here. It could just be, oh yeah. And this one, without a doubt, was holy mackerel sharp. As you can see, it shaved off extremely easy. I just barely touched the blade to my arm and the hair came off. So do they come shave sharp? I guess it depends, not on the handle material. I guess it depends on whoever finished the blade. Whoever finished this one did. You could see a little hair sticking out of there maybe. I don't know. You could see that. It did take off some, but I can't call it shave sharp unless it's really shaving. It's a hair breaker sharp. But this one right here, holy mackerel, is that sharp. And remember, it has nothing to do with the handle, so you don't think, oh, well, if this handle makes a sharper knife than that handle. No, it just happens to be whoever did the sharpening on this one. And who knows, maybe this one has a lot more oil on it too. That could have had something to do with it. I can tell you by the thumb test, it's sharp. It will cut. So thanks, Dave. Let's take these guys outside and see what they will cut. All right, hold on, come on. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day for a neighbor. Oh, won't you be mine? Oh, won't you be mine? Won't you be? Wah! 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 My neighbor. So, hello, neighbor. It's cardboard. I get it. But we wanted to see if it's a cutter, it needs to be able to cut, right? Same thing with this guy. This one is much sharper. I mean, it wasn't the oil. I can just touch this blade and it goes right through. This one, you see how it skirts across? I have to actually push it before it's gonna pull. So this one, what it tells me is you're not gonna have consistent blade edges through their product. Does that make this one a bad edge? No, it doesn't. This one was just done perfectly. I mean, perfectly. This one could use a little bit of work, but they're both still good edges. One is just much freaking better. I'll tell you that much right now. So, let's go over. We'll go over to the stump, get a little bit of work done, let the dogs run around. All right, so the whole versus point of it would have been versus in the handle. What handle is better and why? The blades are the same blade. One happens to be sharpened better than the other, but it's the same knife, just different handles. So we're gonna do just a couple things here, and then I'm gonna put one of them away because I don't really need to keep going with both when it really comes down to which is better for the handle style. So let's do a couple drop tests from 4 feet and we will see the balance with these handles. That's the polypropylene. And that is the aluminum. We'll do that one more time. It's a little bit windy, so I won't be surprised if it kind of blows around here. That one's right there. And so, as far as the weight in the handle and the carryover with the balance, it really isn't offering too much to separate them. Let's do a couple hard downward throws. Wow, that's got some bite. That's got some bite. Let's do that one more time. See how everything holds up. And see if the handle makes a difference, and it does not. So here's the deal on the handles, on the whole, what should I buy, the aluminum or the polypropylene? Let's see here. In the hand, the polypropylene is much more comfortable. It's much more comfortable. It's rounded. It's more filling. This guy right here, you can feel more of the actual the blade spine come out with the little bump. You can really feel that in this one, where this one, it almost hides because it's so thick. Pocket for pocket. Let's see. I mean, obviously, that guy right there, the aluminum handle, is really, really nice. Going not just out, but even into the pocket. This rides the pocket just fine. I mean, there is nothing about the polypropylene going in and out of the pocket that is not liked or uncomfortable. So if I have to say what would be the better choice for you to buy, I think the polypropylene is the better choice as far as comfort and adjustability, and it really doesn't matter going in and out of the pocket. If you want something that's going to be better to carry in the sheath, this guy, now remember, whoever sharpened this blade and whoever sharpened this blade, two different people probably, but if the guy who sharpened that one is now, his next knife to sharpen would be one with an aluminum thing, you might get that edge on this. So don't think, oh, well, the other ones come sharper. No, it just happens to be who sharpened it, how and why, whatever condition made it happen. So you can end up getting one like this with this edge and one like this with that edge. You never know. So it comes down to how thin really do you want your handle, and that's really, really what it comes down to. Outside of that, all is good. All is good. I like this little aluminum guy. This is going to be in the belt loop, and I mean in the sheath, and it'll be riding on a belt. So that's pretty good. For right now, I'm going to put it away, and we are going to continue. We're going to continue this test with the one with the polypropylene, and we're going to go with the rope. And wow. Just easy. Hard vacuum cleaner hose. Let's see how that goes. Easy. Is it a cutter? Absolutely, it's a cutter. Let's see now with a folder that doesn't lock. You want to be careful if you're doing something like batoning. And as a matter of fact, you're not going to be batoning with this knife. It's not what it's for. But for testing purposes, we want to make sure that we can make kindling on an emergency if this is all we have and we're in the woods and we're stuck. Remember, this isn't the knife you should be carrying in the woods, but you never know when the crap hits the fan and you get stuck and you need a knife. And this is all the knife you have. You got to make sure it works. And that's the only reason we do this kind of testing on this kind of knife. This is not made for it. But what I can tell you is, oh, there's a big knot. So that's going to be a good test for this edge. And I'll show you this knot was all the way through. And that's the kind of thing that destroys a knife edge. But this knife edge held up very, very well. Let's see here. Actually, we'll just use this one that we just cut with, and we will do a little feathering. And wow. All right, so it is, I'm dropping them all, but they are beautiful. Let's see, we'll just go short and we'll keep them all in tow here. Beautiful, beautiful. As far as blade handle for something like this, it's making beautiful thin feathers. It's doing it quite easily. So are you going to have an issue feathering? Absolutely not. Absolutely nada. Remember, this is an everyday carry type knife, so it's going to be used for your, look at that, it's going to be used for your daily tasks, as far as just using it as your everyday cutter, your basic cutter, your package opener, things like that. And how is it after banging on it and all that? The friction still holds. It's still going to open, still going to close really easy. Is it going to fold on you just wiggling it? No. They actually make a really, really good friction holder. Remember, these are the guys that give you the Von Temsky buoy, right? They know how to make knives. This Peasant just happens to be one of their most famous models. People buy them all over the place because they're very capable knives at a very good price. I mean, very good price. Let's see here. See that bite? Oh my goodness, we're looking at a 1/2 inch of bite there, just getting through. Look at that. That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful for such a light, small knife to be able to just cruise right through. I like it. I like it. Now this knife is light, so, and it's a friction folder. There's no lock, so it's not a throwing knife. So we're not going to be able to really throw it, but we'll try. But what we can do, because this is going to be a good knife for skinning small game, especially if you take down a rabbit, I see you having no problem being able to go right through that rabbit skin and just open it up. So is it going to be able to be used as a small game skinner? Is it going to be used as a bird knife or a rabbit knife or something? Abso-freaking-lutely. You want to head off a mouse? Head off a freaking mouse. But let's do what we're not supposed to do with it. Let's see if we can get it to turn. Oh, Nelly. Oh, Nelly. Right at the bottom of it. Right at the bottom. Let's try that again with a little bit more accuracy. Oh, Nelly. Oh, Nelly. So, I have to say that for a knife that's not supposed to throw, you know, it's actually turning pretty well. Look at that. Look at that. That's 3 times in a row throwing a knife I've never thrown, not made for throwing, and I'm getting tip side deep, and that's good. That's good. That's what you want. So let's come over here to the old Jeep, the old monster wagon, Corona. So here it is. Here it is, the Svord Peasant, and I have to say that it's a very, very capable little knife. It's a very capable knife. Let's see, man. Other one, I was like, is it still in my pocket? I like that. It's so thin, I lost it in there. Here we go. Let's try and set this up so we can give you a good look at both. Here we go. So the aluminum, the polypropylene, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which one you go with. If you want something that's just going to be more friendly to the pocket, you go with the aluminum. If you want something, and that's not to say that the other one's not pocket friendly, but if you want something that is going to be more filling in the hand, you go with the polypropylene. If you want something that you can adjust, go with the polypropylene. As far as knife for knife, is one better than the other? No, I find that it just comes down to personal preference on what you want. You know what I mean? The knives are just great. They come with great steel, and the good thing is it's going to be very, very easy to sharpen the one that's not as sharp. And it's not dull, it's just not as sharp. It will be very, very easy to take this tool steel. Let me see if we can get them in the sun. And take this tool steel and make it absolutely razor sharp. And it's very easy to do that because one is already razor sharp. So we know that that edge will be able to be gotten. So here you go, man. Svord Peasant. I like it. I like it. I have zero problems with these knives. I am into them. And just for the sake of saying, they are sub $20. You're looking at like 15, 16, 17, 18 bucks, depending on where you're finding them. And if you don't think that that's worth the price for a nice tool steel, then you are out of your freaking tutor, because that's really dirt freaking cheap for a beautiful friction folder, not fiction. This isn't Star Wars. So that's it, y'all. I'm gonna take my lightsabers and go inside now because I am Donnie B all day. And until next knife.